Well, hello. Tonight I'd like to welcome you to my review of Senator Cracked Blind Cap. This is a pen brand that I hardly ever know the names of their pens. I can't find them. So I make up nicknames for the ones where I can't find their names. So I present to you Senator Cracked Blind Cap. If videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens both new and old and at all price points, I would invite you to subscribe. And, do you know the model of this pen? Please feel free to leave a comment down below if you do. So let's take a look at it. So Senator Cracked Blind Cap is one of those slim black pens that I like. You know it's a Senator because it says so. I could not find anything on the body or on the trim ring to identify its model. It's called Senator Cracked Blind Cap because the blind cap, that was a bit of fuzz, not a number. Find it here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. The blind cap on it is literally cracked. So I have to be somewhat careful with it. Unscrew it, it reveals, I've seen the same segmented ink window in several of their models. ODE recently had a hooded Senator, so I thought I might commiserate a little because, what would you call this, an intarsia nib, inlaid nib? I'm not sure, but it's not hooded. So I'll link to ODE's video down in the video description. But, yeah, just a very nice pen. Senator was one of the big names. It still is a big name in German pen manufacturing. They're just not making pens like this anymore. Now they do, drawing a blank here. It's too late at night. Pens where they put logos on them and such. Doggone, the word is gone. So I feel like we need, well, in the interest of objectivity, I was going to draw randomly an ink, but what the heck, let's draw randomly. So I had a viewer send me all of these guys. These are all, well, not all, but mostly Krishna inks. And, I know which ones I would want to try first. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to reach in. You're just going to have to trust me that I'm being random. And I will draw Krishna Specialty Series Palm Leaf. I'll bet that's green. And you know what? I'm not going to be random because I just saw a name that fascinates me. Ha! I wasn't random. Don't worry, Palm Leaf will show up eventually. So what I saw that fascinated me was After Dark. When I was in college, I used to listen on the radio to Delilah After Dark. When I first got on my own, I liked, what was it? No, I don't remember the name of the show. So, Piston X smoothly. I just turned it the wrong way, but luckily caught it before I did something stupid. And I happen to know I enjoy this pen. So that's why at the last minute I decided, no, we're going to go with ink I choose. I do have a bottle of Iroshizuku set here that I want to use in a review soon, because I realized I've never written with it yet, but didn't seem like a good match for this pen. So we're going with Krishna Specialty Series After Dark. Smells kind of like dissection fluid. Fits comfortably in the hand. It's a slimmer pen. If you're not into that kind of thing, you won't like this pen. Let's be clear. So let's just say I'm glad I cheated on this ink. I kind of like the color on the preview screen it looks a little faded to me, but in person it's just a very nice dark blue with some shading. So, Krishna Specialty. After Dark. This is a gold nib, not a terribly flexible one. You can definitely coax some line variation out of it without much trouble, but not a flex nib. I think you can see that it puts down a decent amount of ink. So when we test its wetness and flow, I think it'll keep up. Yeah, I like that. The smear test, which is just as much a test of the ink. Wettish. And reverse writing, for those who are into that kind of thing. Which every so often I feel like I need to explain. There are people who are into that kind of thing because they use it for art or to get different line widths. Oh, gross. But you won't be doing it with this pen because it just wants to cut up the paper. So I'm not even going to finish writing the word reverse because gross. Current events as I film this, we have an impeachment hearing going on in the United States because the president has already been impeached. And I thought about pulling a quote from that, but then I thought, no, let's not. So we'll go with this quote instead. There, that won't get me in trouble with anybody, will it? And finally, I like to do the world-famous Peer Gustafson test, where we take a pen to its extremes. And that's interesting. I'll tell you what's interesting. Very slim on the downstroke. At first there was a little bit of skipping, but I think that was my fault, just how I was holding the pen. Perfectly good on the downstrokes. Horizontal strokes, little skippage there. So apparently you can only off-road in one direction. One other test I always like to do. Fit right in like a dream. I was actually originally planning to put a black ink in this and use this as my daily writer for a while when my Pilot Justice ran out of ink, and I was just going to do it as part of this video. But, sad to say, that's not going to happen because Pilot Justice ran out faster than expected, so I had to fill something, so I didn't fill this to be my daily writer. But with this ink, you know what? I could use it as a daily writer, just not with my usual black. So we'll see. So what do you think? I like it. This was a gift to me. It writes well. It has interesting line variation. It has an interesting nib, one of those not really inlaid. Somebody called it intarsia once. I've heard them called fingernail nibs. I'm not sure what to call it, but nice nib. With line variation, if not, flex. Comfortable in the hand, classy looking. I'm a little nervous about the blind cap. At some point, I would like to fix that. I've just been nervous to do so far, but, I might be sorry at some point if I don't. So I think I will get on that. And, but yeah, all in all, Senator made some very high quality, very classy pens, and I wish they still did. I think the vintage ones that I have used, even the lower cost ones, have been great. This is no exception. So, yeah, if you're looking in the vintage world for a pen, some senators will scare you off. Look at a senator president, unless you get extremely lucky. Yipe! But some of the lesser known models, like where they don't really know the model, they just say vintage senator pen because we don't know what to call it. You will probably get a good one. That's been my experience. Steel nibs and gold nibs. So, if videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens both new and old and at all price points, I would invite you to subscribe. And, do you have advice on fixing a cracked blind cap? Let me know down in the comments. Or maybe I got too political for you. Who knows? I'm sure I pissed somebody off. So feel free to comment about that too. So I want to thank you for watching. I forgot my line. Sorry. I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.